iron days. That is what these last days have been for Punch, and for everyone who has been watching. The blood on his muzzle was not tragedy. It was a red signature on the invisible contract of hierarchy. The ache in his arm was not defeat. It was tuition. And we, watching from the outside, felt each impact as if the forest had found an echo inside our own ribs. Punch held Orange Sam the way someone holds an island. Not because he was taught to, not because it was trained, but because it did not move. In a society made of rank, gesture, and distance, the plush was the only thing that did not ask him who he was. Punch stands on the lowest rung of the social ladder. And in macaque society, ladders are not climbed with ambition. They are climbed with endurance. On March 10th, the zoo spoke. Not defensively, not theatrically, simply descriptively. They confirmed what we had seen. Punch had been disciplined repeatedly by higher-ranking members of the troop. And then they added what needed to be written clearly. This is not bullying. Japanese macaques do not negotiate hierarchy through sentiment. Dominance correct. Subordinates adjust. Order is maintained not by kindness, but by structure. This pattern has been studied for decades by Japanese primatologists. It is not personal, it is architectural. Punch is not being expelled. He is being shaped, and the signs are there. More monkeys remain near him, more tolerated proximity, more shared calm. Acceptance in primate society does not arrive with applause, it arrives in inches. And those inches are happening. Many asked why he was not separated. Why not remove him from the tension, lift him from the board like a fragile piece? Because in primate societies, removal is not neutral. If Punch leaves permanently, he does not return. Separation reshapes status, identity, and future possibility. What looks like protection can become exile. The zoo adjusted what needed adjusting. Certain high-ranking individuals were temporarily removed from group access, quietly, without spectacle. Shortly after, the escalation subsided, and then came the most subtle line in the statement, the line that mattered. The time Punch spends away from his stuffed toy has increased. There it was. A hand-raised macaque without inherited maternal rank often requires a bridge. A substitute attachment object regulates stress during early integration. It is not weakness, it is provisional architecture. But bridges are not built to be lived on forever. Punch still carries Orange Sam, but less often. Not because it was taken from him, because something else is slowly replacing its function. Belonging, when it begins to take root, occupies space. That stuffed orangutan was never a symbol of fragility. It was transition. All of you have been carrying this with you. We saw it in the comments. Words like, "When you hurt Punch, you're hurting me." I'm an adult, but Punch is still a baby. He is learning to be strong. That is who you are. That is what this community has become, around a young macaque in a zoo in Japan that most of the world had never heard of. Every person who watched, who asked if his arm was okay, who stayed through the hard days without looking away, became part of how this story will be remembered. Not as a tragedy, as a threshold. Punch does not know this channel exists. He does not know your names. He does not know that people across the world held their breath when his arm went limp. But we know, and we will keep showing up. Every week, every hard day, every inch forward. Because that is what presence means. Wild presence. In every animal, something human.